little bit beyond me, but I can't say that we're not in a simulation. I can't, because kind of believing in God is almost believing in simulation in a way. I can just tell you this: YouTube has closed my live streams twice. They have shut down my live streams twice. They have demonetized my station, and I know multiple channels that have lost their channels. YouTube is censoring flat Earth. My question to you, oh yeah, I don't want anybody. I'm sorry. I gotta leave. Yeah, I've already had people already take. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. That's you guys. You know this is theft. I will call the police. I will call the police right now. I will call the police. These are my property. Do not touch them. No, I'm going to call the police. Do not touch them. I was already very clear.
You can step on them, right? Because they're on the ground.
Yeah, of course you can step on them. You were not stepping on them. You were picking them up and ruining them. You want to give everybody your name?
The Holocaust is real.
There you go. And show off your ignorance. Show off your ignorance, honey.
What mental?
Can you not kill me?
Yeah. I'm sorry I did that. You know what? I got triggered.
I'm really quick question.
That was really rude of me.
So you believe in a God? What is your religion?
You're killing me. Why do you do this to me? I'm Christian. I believe I'm Christian. I do believe that it's a belief. Do I have any proof that I'm Christian? No. I feel like I did undergo some type of transition.
You use the Bible as that the things in Bible are, the statements in Bible are facts.
No. I just used them that there were things that correlated to flat Earth that to me struck me as more than a coincidence.
Do you believe that the Bible as a whole is truth?
I do now. Yeah, I do.
Or do you cherry pick?
No. I'd be more on the literal side, but I think it also is.
So by that fact, we're all basically going to hell, right?
No, not at all. I don't think so.
I'm going to hell.
Well, that's what your belief is today, right?
No, it's not a belief. The Bible literally says.
Right. Oh, actually, I'm not an expert on it, but a guy who's been helping me with the Bible, his feeling was he's read the Bible. He's explained things to me to the point where I had become not a born again Christian. I was like, I don't think I can say I believe this stuff, right?
Yes.
And I had enough conversations with him that. Not like he was just listen to what I say and tell me his thoughts. And regarding hell, he's like, I don't see any place in the Bible that describes that there is a place called hell that you're going to. Like he doesn't even see that in the Bible. So I haven't read the entire Bible.
I have, and that is his personal interpretation. But the Bible is very much clear on what is allowed and what is not, and it's.
Well, I'm with you on sinning and things like that, right? I mean, but he's talking about literally, a verse, I guess, that would state you are going to hell over X, Y, or Z.
Well, I can say that's like.
And by the way, I don't mean to put you on the spot. I know I doubt many people have these things memorized. So I host this, and so I will have people all up and down me both ways. By the way, because people who watch my videos in flat Earth are of two minds generally. A lot of people think that the Bible is a control mechanism, and that I am falling for just another lie. And then there are the people who are saying no. The people who have been duped are the ones who don't really believe in a creator. I would say also most of the people who can't get to the flat Earth point where they think the Earth is flat do believe that there is a creator, but they're just not really up on the whole, whether it's Christianity or it's what other gods there are.
But they still use the Bible as like a document.
No. There's a group of people who despise the Bible.
Okay.
A large group. Because they feel like you're being misled. So it's a really difficult position for me to be in because I don't want to fall back on, I like to say, hey, I make my decisions and my beliefs now, or I base my beliefs on evidence, right? And the Bible, as much as it rings true to me, I don't know, that's a tough one to say that it's, so evidentiary as let's say resting bodies of water, or something that I can plainly see in front of me.
Can I just quickly ask, you do not believe that the Holocaust happened?
Well, there certainly was a detainment, right? Places where they built that.
Because I know people firsthand who lost family
100%. I wouldn't argue with you 1 second over that.
I am
the position.
very much. I'm sorry, I'm cutting off you off again, but I'm very much from like I am not from the States. I'm from Europe. I'm very much from a place that was heavily impacted by war and Holocaust. Was,
are you aware that in like 15, 17 European countries, it is illegal to research the Holocaust?
Illegal. Which countries would those be?
Germany is definitely one of them, because this nice little old lady here, she's of the opinion that the Holocaust is not telling you everything that she experienced in her life. And
well, that is one experience.
Through experience and research, but anyhow, she was sitting in jail. I don't know if she's still in jail, but they put her away for 2 years. There are, I believe, dozens of other people.
That has to be a joke with the Holocaust, right?
A joke?
We're just talking.
Yeah, did you read it or no?
I was there, like I've been in Auschwitz. Have you been there?
Well, yeah.
Okay, have you been there? So when you feel what I felt?
Yeah. Can I ask you one question?
Have you ever visited
Santa Claus? Have you ever visited Santa Claus? I'm sorry to do that to you, but it's the truth. You can visit. You can visit a place. Yeah, it is. It triggers people emotionally because
I've not visited the place. I've experienced like firsthand what the consequences of a thing like the Holocaust are, and they are very much still present.
Okay. With that said, let me just leave you with this, okay? Because I mean, I'm not here to convince you or change your mind right here. That ain't gonna happen. What I can tell you is this:
that's not gonna
is that
happen.
there is a principle. This is a saying that I apply now to the first 46 years of my life. Did you hear this with the young girl?
I heard that, but also I go to like a school that literally has all of the like resources to research literally anything and everything I want in the whole world.
What do you think of this? What do you think of this right here? And I'm not trying, but this to me, this is just the start. This is just the tippy tip of the iceberg. Are you familiar with the Red Cross?
Yes.
Okay, the Red Cross visited Auschwitz on a monthly basis, right? By Red Cross inspection teams. Auschwitz, this is, they visited, who were allowed to speak to prisoner representatives alone, right? In order to hear firsthand any of the mistreatment, chicanery, interruption of mail and parcel delivery, health concerns, food and ration matters, etc. They came up in their report and they said that Auschwitz was being completely humane and fair and just to the people that they were housing in that unit.
That, do you?
Well, I've done other.
I want to know where the fuck my family is, if that's true.
You do?
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Well, I'm not claiming that people didn't die, sir.
You're an asshole.
Okay. So anyway, my point is.
You, mister.
Well,
Okay.
Your
You're
point
lucky I don't
is.
punch you in your fucking face.
Okay.
Asshole.
Okay.
Your point is literally you have no proof of any of this. I can go to a library and disprove literally every single thing that's on these things.
How are you so sure? Have you investigated it yet?
Yes, I have. I have looked into the.
Okay. Oh, then at that point.
Literally, the other thing I've looked into, like actual scientific research that has been done by people who are completely like third party, don't care. And
Okay.
what they found is like better.
Well, with that said, then I guess you've made up your mind.
I haven't made up my mind. I've looked into research.
Right, and
Think about it.
right. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You have weighed and determined the evidence, and you're just declaring me that that somehow I'm faulty in my own research, and I can't argue with that. Who am I to tell you? Who am I to tell you that you're wrong?
There's no research.
Excuse me?
You're not faulty in your research because.
Oh, so you're going to judge? You're now judging the evidence that I used.
I'm not judging.
Well, certainly you'll have to judge it.
I'm saying that
you have no
there is
choice
no
but to tell me.
evidence.
You're judging. You're judging. Of course you are. Come on, be real. Be honest with yourself. You're lying to yourself right now. You're making a judgment on. You have no idea what evidence I looked at. You have zero clue.
We all here.
No, this. Oh, all the evidence that I've ever looked at is all right here.
Not all.
That's what you just said.
But it's not evidence. You
Listen,
have presented zero evidence.
You will never beat me right now in a verbal argument because you're lying to me. You're lying, straight up.
I do not lie. That goes against my
Now you don't lie, so now you've never told a lie.
I have not said that I would never lie.
Well, you just said you don't lie. When did you stop
I just
lying?
generally do not.
So you're just
feel like
digging yourself
lying.
a bigger hole, and I'm going to put this on YouTube. I'm not. I mean, I'm keeping it off you for your own good. But honestly,
Not keeping it
you know,
off.
I'll just destroy you right now verbally if you keep talking. You're digging yourself a bigger and bigger hole. It's embarrassing. It is.
Okay,
It's not.
you know you're embarrassing yourself by putting it on YouTube that you think the Earth is flat, right?
All right, I'm just going to give you this. You've already made up your mind. There is a saying that I live by. It was the first 46 years of my life I applied to. Okay? There's a principle that will leave a man in everlasting ignorance, and that principle is condemnation before investigation. The condemnation is referring to the evidence. If you're going to condemn another person's evidence without ever looking into it, shame on you.
Where is
because
your
I did it
evidence?
for 46 years and it left
Oh,
me an ignorant fool.
don't. His evidence is literally that.
Sorry, but that's what I'll do. I'll be
Have
completely
pumps
honest
in
with
it.
you. I was a completely ignorant fool for the first
If you-
46 years of my life,
if you do
and please
a
don't be me, because I'm
2-mile
freaking ashamed of
standing
myself.
body of
Okay, but what's your evidence? Okay, do you accept the fact that all the other like planets in our
Yes.
galaxy are circles?
Listen, man,
spheres.
you're not interested. I can tell. It's a joke. It's fine. I'm not here to convince anybody. There are people who walk up to me and they have seen some of the other lies. If you want to look into the Holocaust, if you want to look into school shootings that are fake, hoaxes, if you want to look into 9/11, did you know that 3 buildings fell on 9/11? The 3rd building was Building 7, which is a 47-story high, tall skyscraper that fell in 8 seconds. Free fall speed is 6 seconds. You tell me how steel structure buildings, it was the first in history, fell from fire. See, it's all a joke, but for people who have started to investigate the lies of this world, it's not a freaking joke. So, welcome to the lies.
Oh yeah. Is this? So awesome.
Yeah, sorry, man, you triggered me a little bit. You got me. You won.
I know.
It's not easy.
I won before I came. No, I think it was because it was a Sunday.
All right, guys, what evidence do you use to prove to yourself that you live on a spinning ball? First-hand evidence, that is. What first-hand evidence would you use to make you to convince yourself that you live on a spinning ball?
When boats go away, they
That's
go.
a good one, man. Good for you. That's a quick one. Real quick, do you know that the distance to the horizon from about 5 feet above sea level, I think is about 4, 5, 6 miles max, right?
Oh, yeah, so you're saying like you're pointing out that it shouldn't do that, like it would have to go too far.
Well, I find it interesting for myself. I read a meme on Twitter that somebody brought this comparison up, and I thought that makes a little bit of sense to me back when I was like doubting what I am standing here for now. And that is that if you're seeing that curvature experienced from only 4 miles away, it's strange that Neil deGrasse Tyson, that famous physicist guy who's talks too much, he says at 120,000 feet up, which is over 20 miles high, right? He goes, it looks flat from that height. And I said, and the guy goes, isn't that strange that you can see curvature standing on a beach 4 miles away, yet you could go 20 miles up in the sky and you're not gonna see a thing.
Yeah.
That's a little bit.
That is a little weird.
So then you look into how perspective works, and you learn how artists use perspective and how our eyes. Then you also learn about how the atmosphere can mess with things, and why things would possibly. I'm not saying it's 100 right, but it's a possibility, right? And now all of a sudden, all right. So now check that off as I don't know what the hell to think anymore. You know what I mean? Like I'm still a ball earther, but that's a little weird. And then you start moving down the list. You move down the list, and at some point,
airline traffic maps.
oh, have you looked into those?
A little bit, yeah.
Have you seen the ones where they show that they don't fly in the southern hemisphere from continent to continent?
Like.
From
what do you
like
mean by that?
where would it be from Australia to what's the next one? I'm not even good with with these, but they show you the continents, and literally you see air traffic crossing into northern, and you see none. And they say it's because of like satellites or something. And then you're like, what? Wait a second, man. Like, let me find something else because I know that the freaking Earth is a ball. And then you go, well, we landed on the moon. They have a photo from Earth, right? Then they show you the photo from Earth, man, and literally, dude, NASA, there's one photo.
Oh, damn. Oh, hi.
There's one photo that, when you cut out something in Photoshop and you leave the square, well, they changed the resolution in the background of space, and you can literally see a square around the Earth, man. Now, is that real?
I'm sorry. I'm getting
Yeah, that's all right. Dude, here's a card for you. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, but point is that I'm not saying that's conclusive as to why, you know, I know the Earth is flat, but it's another little thing that you're like, wait a second.
No, I'm good.
Why would that be?
I know Earth is not flat.
Okay, so there's one thing that I learned that was a big thing for me, and that's why kind of the reason why I'm out here. But I like just to talk with people too. Age 46 I was when I kind of looked into this and decided, like, I jumped on board that I'm like, wow, I'm leaving the ball Earth, man, right? That's crazy. So 46 years of my life, I believed it. One of the reasons I think that helps support that, that to get me to that point, is that there's a saying, and that saying is condemnation before. There's a principle that will leave a man in everlasting ignorance. And that principle is condemnation before investigation. And that's condemnation of evidence that generally, yeah, and that goes against what your current beliefs are. And so there is a point where, you know, where do you draw that line? Because you would almost think, like, drawing the line that the Earth is flat, you're there, right? Somehow I ended up looking into this stuff.
And you realize the Earth is not flat?
And you know, I don't know if you've looked into the evidence for flat Earth, and that's what I'm kind of saying.
If
Have
you
you?
go to space and see Earth,
I believed I was on a ball all my life. Is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, man, I was fully on your team and saying those arguments. Well, until you start, accepting, looking at, like, making it as a possibility that this other evidence could even possibly remotely be true. If you can't get to that point, then why even act like you're investigating? You're not investigating. You're just confirming your own beliefs, right?
Good for you.
Well, I'm just saying, it's
mind blowing.
I agree with you.
Like, you're saying Earth is.
I'm not the only one. And what is really, you know what's creepy to me? For, like, just using, like, it's not connected with any evidence.
Yeah, you see it.
But I have a YouTube channel. It has been, my live streaming capability due to flat Earth related content was cut off twice. I've been demonetized. And I know multiple other channels that have, so many channels that I used to watch to learn flat Earth, they're gone, man.
Yeah.
Their content is gone.
But
YouTube censors a lot.
Yeah, they do, but the thing being is, like, man, an idea like flat Earth, you would think you don't need any help. Freaking people are gonna figure it out on their own. They live on a ball. What is going on when they feel the need, right? And unless that's like a double psyop, when they're trying to do that to make me think that it is important. But so that's strange to me. And then do you have one more second, man? This is the clincher for me. Everything for me, not everything, but so much of it rests on water. And you familiar with there's an equation for spherical geometry, 8 inches per mile squared, that describes Earth 24,000 miles in circumference, right? That's going to give you the curve of the Earth for this. So if this were a long tube, or whatever you want to call it, let's say it's 2 miles long, let's say it's like 5 miles and 5 feet in diameter.
Like a meniscus effect on the sides.
No, not on the sides. You're going to be looking for that hump, right? You're going to be expecting, in a resting body of water, in a pipe, you know that it has to be there, because we've seen on the NASA photo from that moon, right, which is freaking live, but we've seen that, well, 100% water has to bend. I've seen the curve on that photo, so I know that water bends. Point being is that, man, that's a tough one to get around when you know how resting bodies of water always seek and find their level. So if there was a divot somewhere in here or anything like that, this water is going to flow down until it equalizes at a new height.
But doesn't that prove too much? Like, if water does do that, but also, like, if you throw a rock in a pool, it is going to ripple. It's not going to ripple forever, but it is going to ripple at all. So
Missing
there has to be
the connection. I'm sorry.
Water does equalize, but but it doesn't do so immediately. Like, you can't, if you gave it infinite time.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, though, is that in my example here, if this was 2 miles long, and let's say it's 5 feet, this container's 5 feet from top to bottom, and it's 2 miles long too, right? And it's filled with, this is 2.5 feet of water, let's imagine. That 2.5 feet of water there would be a hump, 16 additional inches in the middle of that 2 mile pipe, and that you're gonna have and this is a resting body of water within this pipe, that you're going to have a hump. It has to be there.
It's a shame that
and that contradicts everything I know about water.
That is why you need to go to
everything.
Yeah, I need
Oh,
the
okay.
thing to
So-
go to school.
I've been to
I think the difference is like,
I've been in the school.
if you only have a little water, the weight on the sides is not going to push up the middle too much.
Shameful to
But
see
like,
such.
if you
Well, I mean, I don't see any pushing up anywhere. I've never experienced that. I've never seen that.
Yeah, but if you like build you could probably build a really long pipe and do some measurements and get a little bit of an effect.
Hang on one second. I guess I have a new partner in my little work here.
No, I did want to thank you for the Earth's flat thing though, because this changes everything.
Okay.
My whole life, I got to change my behavior, my ideology, everything because the Earth's flat.
Okay, man. Good for you.
Thank you for drawing this, bringing this to my attention.
Thank you for being so mature.
And that is reprehensible.
Okay.
Yeah, you're.
I'll retweet that.
It's you know, that's the danger of speaking what you believe and showing evidence to contrary of what other people believe. So it just goes with it.
True.
I'm Jewish
My
and
friend's,
this happened. Gotta go.
my friend's grandmother was cast to the chamber, so that's nice.
I apologize for that. You know, you believe that.
I
So
wish you had other things to do, man.
Can I borrow this?
no, I'd appreciate you not touching my property.
This is your property?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Kind of out on the sidewalk.
What does that mean? Does that mean I can grab your shirt off of you? It's out on the sidewalk,
If
right?
I lay it down on the ground.
That means it's anybody's? So I can take that bike right there? According to your logic?
No,
Some
it's
great
not.
logic you use. I
It's
guess
not
that's why you ended up the way you are.
Discuss.
Uh-huh.
It's not logical.
Sir, man, listen. I
have
do
the
not
camera
deny.
'cause
I do
you-
not deny that there were camps that Auschwitz existed.
You have the camera
I do not
because
deny.
you know people want to fuck you up and you want it on film.
Dude, man.
And you're right, man. When people see this, a lot of us, we want to fuck
That's
you
too
up.
bad, man. That's too bad. That's not a very mature way to be. I'll put you on YouTube and you can be a YouTube star, man. Congrats.
That's great. I'm telling you, I would like to harm you. That my impulse when I
good.
see
Yeah, that might even be an
Holocaust
arrestable
denial-
offense these days. They say just threatening somebody.
That's what I'm saying. You bring
No, what I'm
the
saying.
camera,
No, I'm not. What I
and
say
you
is
want-
that
you want someone to strike you because you know
if
that
you
it
wanna-
makes people angry.
I can. What's interesting is there's a the thing that I'm ashamed of for 46 years of my life. I'm going to give you this as a saying that I think could change your life.
Yeah.
Maybe you're already open-minded. I wasn't. I thought I was. Okay.
think I am.
Right. That's a scary trap. You ready? I just learned this the other day. What major beliefs that you have right now? What major beliefs that you hold, you didn't hold prior because you're so open-minded, right? That somebody, you like, let's say you didn't believe in God, and then one of your friends brought you a Bible, and you said, you know what? You're right.
I don't believe in that.
No, what I'm saying.
Yeah,
no, but
yeah,
what?
I know what you mean.
So, because you told me you're open-minded, what makes you so sure that you're open-minded?
It's just the like convincing. It's a way people word what they try to tell you.
Wait, no, but I'm saying like evidence for me that proves that you have an open mind would be like, well, I used to believe X, Y, or Z, and my friend came up to me and he told me that no, I'm wrong, and he convinced me that I was wrong, and I admitted I was wrong. Like, do you have anything like that in your life I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just it's a thought experiment.
Not really.
Yeah, all right, well, check this out. I lived my life thinking I was the most open-minded. Oh, yeah, dude, yeah. He's an open-minded guy, right? So there's a great saying, and I now apply it to the first 46 years of my life. And that saying is there is a principle that will keep a man in everlasting ignorance. And that principle is condemnation before investigation. And what you saw there was a person reacting emotionally to what their current beliefs are. They were challenged. I challenged those beliefs. And there was absolutely no ability to investigate why would do you think I want to come out here and upset people? I really don't, man.
You chose the wrong town.
What?
Everyone around here is like crazy.
Well, no, everybody in the whole world is pretty much crazy, my friend.
Yeah,
it's scary.
crazy,
The school systems are designed to indoctrinate you into certain beliefs. I didn't learn this stuff until I was older, and man, let me tell you, at age 46, I was freaking pissed off. Just the clothes you wear, your style that you have. You think, oh, that's all my idea. No.
You soak in the information that's around you.
Yeah, you're picking up from the TV commercial, from your friends, from, oh, I don't, you know, you start saying, I want to, what is cool? Well, cool is, you know, however you come to define it. Anyway, I have two, like, interesting things like regarding that Holocaust, which you're, you know, you're positive, right?
100%.
Right. But now, have you ever looked at evidence to the contrary of that current belief?
No, not really.
So here I am, some stranger, you don't know me from anybody. I could be crazy, loony. Or what happens if I actually have information that you might completely change your perspective of what is possible? Because for me, at age 46, when I looked into the Holocaust, I was like, there is no freaking way, this is a lie. And over a period of time, that belief was getting diminished more and more due to evidence that seemed to me much stronger. Now, why, if at age 46, do you think all of a sudden I became an evil guy and said, hey man, I can't wait to be hated by society, I can't wait to lose half my friends, I can't wait to have a bunch of people call me an anti-Semite? No, that wasn't my goal. My only goal was like, hey man, what's going on in this world, and I want to learn. For some reason, all of a sudden I started saying, I wanted my mind to truly be open, or it wasn't me doing it. Maybe I bumped into people who were open-minded and I started seeing my own idiocy, which limits, when you limit your belief system, you know? So there's a Red Cross report. Here's a Red Cross report. Red Cross report, they went monthly and they wrote a report and they said that the prisoners in the camp are fed properly, they're getting their mail.
Well, that was only because they had those inspections like once a month. They only came in for that one day.
Well, they inspected the whole place. So if you're
that's
running,
for one day, not when they left. Like shit probably going down.
Hey, maybe that's possible. Did you know that in over like 15 or 17 countries, it is illegal to investigate the Holocaust? Did you know that? This old lady here, 86-year-old Ursula Haverbeck, she ended up in
investigate. They don't have history books there. They don't have like fucking professional historians.
No, the history books support the Holocaust, the official narrative. So if you go,
because people studied, because like millions of people have seen it and took pictures and
okay, no, that's fine. What I'm saying is that if I were to have this banner and show, and all it is a banner with information that I've come to believe that offers possibly an alternative.
People that have banners like this are fucking people that if you talk to them long enough, they're fucking Nazis. That's
okay, so you support censorship. You don't like free speech, is what you're saying, right?
No, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but you're still fucking.
Well, no, but I mean, so do you think it's bad that it's illegal? Do you agree?
Was invaded by Nazis has a right to fucking ban Nazis.
Do you?
It's not speech. You know why? It's a bullshit argument. It's not speech because you know what? People that are into this shit, they organize together. Their goal is to actually fucking kill people in the long run. It's not talking. It's not a fucking debate club.
I don't know. Do you think that's my goal, is to kill people?
You've stolen the whole idea of fucking.
That's what I'm being generalized at.
What do you mean general?
Well, you just said that would be my goal, man.
You're just curious about the Holocaust. I'm sure you got no fucking background motive, no bigotry, nothing.
This stuff is so hard. I hate this.
Open-minded.
Listen, I don't like this part. I don't come here for the people who I make angry. What I come here for is that. Yeah, bro. Hey, listen. Did you get that word Flat Earth Carter now?
To make him think that it makes sense to fucking question the fucking Holocaust.
My channel Zoom Truth 2 words. And by the way, dude, if you look into some of this stuff, I would love to do like a live stream with you. I'll pay you $50 to spend an hour with me and chat with me.
I'm not like, I don't agree with a lot of this, but it's interesting how people come out on the street and just do it.
Yeah, because he's denying that like my family members.
Yeah, did we speak?
I don't. This is not true. I mean, not.
Just making sure that like, he's not actually.
They're not actually debating.
They want to make sure that that they can think for you, because your brain, you can't. But they have to make sure, right? They're here to protect you.
I'm
not. I guess you're the.
Not speaking.
Do you call yourself the thought police? Is that what you consider yourself?
No, I call myself someone whose relatives.
Because I appreciate that. No, that's super.
Well,
obviously it is. It's just a thought. I'm passing it along.
Okay.
So he's not capable of thinking for himself, is what you're telling me. How you going, bro? Sorry, I didn't mean to get all crazy.
Thought for what purpose?
Sir, I don't know.
It's not.
Let's start with the old lady. She's 86 years old. She lives in Germany, and for researching flat Earth, she was thrown in jail for 2 years. Do you agree with that, or
disagree? I'm not going to debate you on something I don't know about. I know it's not fucking illegal to fucking research.
It is.
That's fucking Germany. That's stupid.
Can you Google it on your phone right now and find out?
No, I'm not going to fucking debate you like it's a
What are you afraid of?
Because people fucking study this shit. It's not illegal to study this shit.
Do you trust the government?
Do I trust the government?
Yeah.
It depends. What branch of government? What person are you talking about?
All of it. The
Or
whole.
just- so
any government.
Just what, like the Illuminati?
Do you trust men?
Is that what we're
Do you
talking
trust
about?
men?
All men?
Yeah.
All men?
Any men. Do you think men lie in general?
Yes, men lie in general.
Right. What is the government composed
That's
of?
why you fucking use like scientific methods to fucking study shit and not fall for fucking theories by fucking Nazis.
All right, man. Listen, I didn't mean to upset you on a nice Sunday, man. I wish you luck.
People like you cause a lot of people to die.
I guess. If that's what you want to believe. Oh, so they're bringing in. Oh, I guess I get a free concert. Wow, look, somebody tore it up again, man. I wish I would have gotten that on. This is what people do if they don't like the information you show them.
This fire in my hands, so with this fire in my bones, I'm about to let it lose control and just explode. I got this witness in my womb, it's like a hurricane.
So that was rather intense.
The casualties of war, every prisoner going down when the hitter comes around. And ain't no discharge for this soul from the lowest.
I don't know where my brother is.
Girl, go ahead, you're a star, even if nobody.
So here's the deal.
Yes, sir.
She wants to debate with you, but she doesn't want to be videoed.
I'll
She's a minor.
I'll take the video off the. Can I do that? I'm going to leave it running, but it's. I'll just keep it off. Yeah, I'm not interested in bothering you. Yeah. I'd like to pick up the audio. You know what I mean?
That's fine. Just we don't want a video.
But I'm really not looking to debate so much. Have you looked into Flat Earth?
Yeah.
Very cool. I guess where I would. And what was your thought when you looked into it?
Well, I walked right before, and I saw one of the pictures. This one.
Yeah,
right
I got this up. Yeah.
It's on a much smaller scale. So like if you were to do that, say like from the sun,
Right.
if you were to put that,
Yep.
so you know how there's the equator, right? So when the sun shines on the equator, and then it like
Well, that's
stands
assuming
out.
that we're on a ball, right? Isn't that kind of assuming?
So then, if say it was flat, we wouldn't have different seasons. Like you know how like in the northern hemisphere when we have winter and the southern hemisphere.
Good. You're a dangerous adversary here. I know that. But like on the Flat Earth, this is one potential idea of what people have, and there is a way to actually have seasons on it. Am I saying that I know this is how it is? No, I'm not. I won't go that far. But it's interesting. You have like, what would you use? What would you use as first-hand evidence that makes you so confident? And I'm not trying to be rude here.
No, go ahead. No.
That makes you confident that you know you live on a spinning ball. Meaning, firsthand, something right you've done yourself, experienced yourself.
Well, first off, when you look at the clouds, they move in sort of like a pattern that way right now.
Okay.
And when you go to the beach and you look at, say it's sunset on the beach and you're like looking in the horizon, you can see that if you look up in a very far, you can see that it starts to curve and stuff. And sort of like in that picture there, it's a very close scale picture, but when you're using your eyes,
Yeah.
you can see all the way to your peripheral.
Yeah.
It starts to curve.
I do agree that you can feel like you're detecting a curve. I think it has more to do with the structure of our eyes. And, people have actually set up like a tension line and across as far as maybe 50 feet. I think one guy did it. And then what he did, he put his camera level with it, and there was not, then he ran it across from the middle, angled it, so you could really get a far distance, and you weren't able to detect one. But with that said, at what, I would ask you, at what age did you learn you lived on a spinning?
Maybe like first, second grade.
Yeah, it's pretty young when we learn this information.
When did you learn that we lived on a flat Earth?
2.5 years ago, I looked into this stuff, and up until that point, I never dreamed in a million years that I would end up,
So what experience do you have that's living proof that the Earth is flat?
For me, all right, I'm gonna give you water. For me is so pivotal. If you take a resting body of water, right? we know that the natural motion or lack of motion really of resting bodies of water is to seek and find, right? It's level. So with that said, the body of water also never ever takes the shape of its...
So let's make this the center of the earth, right? Why down under, when you flush the toilet, does it go in the reverse direction?
Well, actually, if you look into that, you'll find that the Coriolis effect, they've shown that it's not a consistent... Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. They've shown that it's not... I'm sorry, I apologize. No. They've shown that that's not a consistent outcome. Now, the reason why I hold this up, imagine that this tube here was 2 miles long. There's a formula now for spherical geometry, which is going to describe the shape of the Earth in a ball form, and that formula is 8 inches per mile square. Okay? So in this instance, if this was a 2 mile long tube, right, and let's say it's 5 feet tall, okay, and it's filled with halfway up with water, so it's filled, with 2.5 feet of water. Imagine, right? At 2 miles long, you would multiply, 2 times 2 is 4. You're going to take that 4, you're going to multiply it by 8 inches, right? So you're going to end up with 32 inches of expected curvature over a distance of only 2 miles. So in the middle of this, what I'm saying is in the middle of this 2 mile long pipe with water at 2.5 feet, resting water. Remember, this is resting water. You will have a hump in the middle. There has to be a hump of 16 inches approximately. So that defies almost everything we understand about water.
Let me make
really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
It has been like an interest of mine. Do you believe other planets are flat? Is the sun flat?
They're round. I know they're round.
It goes Mercury, Venus, Mars are all spherical and the Earth is flat.
If you get down to it, right? All right.
So we're a flat planet floating around with all these round ones.
Yeah, like it goes like, all the other, everything else, like all the stars, the sun is, a ball, and we're like a plate.
So I believed in the Big Bang, right? But I would argue, does everybody believe in the Big Bang?
Yeah. So you think that the Big Bang made it flat?
Well,
like
no.
Broke off?
Where I'm going with that is that. Do you think you could prove that the Big Bang is true yourself?
Well, we have lots of evidence that goes towards it. Like the fact, why Jupiter is so big and why it has so many moons is because the Big Bang exploded it and pushed it out further into our
Yeah, that's what I was told, right? And I couldn't prove it any better than most people here. But so with that said, I came to the understanding 2 years ago that I truly believed. I could only believe the things that I thought I knew. I thought that the Big Bang, and the Big Bang for me was a clincher that there is no God. For myself, I couldn't reconcile how does the Big Bang fit into the Bible. If you read the Bible, it doesn't seem to really work for me. I came to find out upon looking into flat Earth that if you read, there's over 200 verses in the flat Earth in the Bible that you could associate with the flat Earth. One of them being early on in the Bible in Genesis, that the Earth was created stationary and immovable. Now, do you guys know how fast they say we're spinning?
Isn't it 1,000?
Perfect, good. 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. We're circling the sun at 66,000 miles per hour, they say, and we're hurtling through. The sun is hurtling through space at over 500,000 miles an hour. Now, does that sound anything like stationary and immovable?
Wait, before you even go there. So you're showing me this straight across bottle of water, right?
Yeah.
Now, what would happen if this was in a ball? Is your mathematics still going to work with the 2 times 2 times the 8? Because now you're talking about circular.
Well, yeah, no, the ball.
So are you going to have an 8-inch hump in the middle? Are you still going to have an 8-inch hump in the middle?
No, wait. No, this is what I'm saying. Hold on. That's exactly the math that I'm using that's creating that 16-inch hump. That is the geometry. You can look it up and look up Earth curve calculator, and it'll show you 8 inches per mile squared. So that is the math that you use to describe the Earth at 24,000 miles in circumference, which is why, for myself, if and a lot of construction workers who have found this out, as soon as they hear this, they're like, there ain't no way in heck there's a freaking resting body of water with a big curve in the middle of it. It's not how things work.
Can I also make another point about
the
that,
physics of water don't work that way. Yeah, I'm good.
So,
I got it.
we're on Earth. Say the Earth is in fact curved. So right now, if we're standing on a curve, we can't see it.
Yeah.
So if you were to calculate that formula for a resting body of water and do an experiment, we wouldn't see the curve the same way we wouldn't see the curve that we're standing on right now.
I don't know if I followed that completely. I will leave you with this because I'm not really here to debate people. The reason why I'm here, and I'll just leave you with this quote. There is a quote that I have now really attached to the first 46 years of my life. And that quote is, there's a principle that will keep a man in everlasting ignorance. And that principle is condemnation before investigation.
Lack of knowledge.
Well, yeah, condemnation of evidence that contradicts what your current beliefs are. If you are already sure that you're right and I'm wrong, or vice versa, then there is no way in heck you're ever going to come up with any determination other than Earth is a ball. For some reason, and by the way, I lived 46 years thinking I lived on a ball, and I knew everything, right? I knew it all. So getting to the point where I all of a sudden threw that out, and I said, I don't think the Earth is a ball anymore. The whole matrix fell on me at that point, because I have to say I got to start over from scratch on all my beliefs. Because if I was wrong about something like this, what else could I be wrong about? And let me tell you, I'm wrong about everything.
So if the Earth is flat, so we're not spinning on an axis?
No, we're not spinning at all. Flat, stationary, and movable.
And everything else is moving around.
And
we're staying
So then how would the clouds be moving?
And what's funny is the Bible says you can use the stars as signs and for time. Now what's weird about that is that how can we use stars, right? How can we use stars in a natural system to calculate time? Yet, have you ever heard of the astrolabe? That's exactly what they used. The stars to calculate time. And I mean, that's kind of hard to believe in a random explosion that now all of a sudden I can use stars as a timing device when we know that they're moving in all different directions at all different speeds.
So then,
or at least that's what we're told.
Say the Earth was flat, say I'm just gonna say it was like a square or like a circle. Would the sun? So is there people living on the top and the bottom, or does the sun go all the way around, or does it just go back and forth like that?
Well, first off, I would argue I have no idea. Is there a bottom on a flat Earth? See, now we start limiting. We're using our own imagination of what we know on a ball, and are trying to apply it to a flat Earth, which is pretty futile because we don't know. I don't have an answer for you. It could be infinite. Imagine if, like, we have it in our brains that space, right? That's the way I grew up. Was space is infinite. I had no problem with it, man. When you learn something at age 5 and then you watch the movies and the movies show space, it's infinite in space. It was infinite in Star Trek. It was infinite in Star Wars, and it's infinite in all the other movies. Heck, man, space to me was infinite. So what's limiting us from thinking that?
So let me stop you there.
Yeah.
If we live on a flat Earth, what's stopping somebody from walking off this end?
Well, like I said, it could be infinite. That's what I was just saying.
But how?
How do
if it's flat?
It's flat.
It has to come full circle.
But you see what I just said? Like,
no, I heard what you said. Yeah. I heard what you said.
So then how would people get to one...
So I mean, what do we live on Minecraft? We just keep putting every step you take, the Earth continues to grow?
Well, there's some people who claim simulation theory, right? Okay. I'm not going to argue with those people.